Hey guys, it's Sanjay here from Carcraft Auto Detailing in Melbourne. Hopefully you've had a look at part 1 of this video, as I'll get straight into part 2 of my top 15 best car sealants tested and reviewed. Starting with CarPro's HighGrade 2. The first time I used this product, it was like a love at first rinse. For those of you who don't know, HighGrade 2 is a sealant that is sprayed onto the clean car paint or trim and then simply rinsed off, to leave an instantly sealed surface that gives you the rewarding visual of water beading as an indication that it's working from the get-go. This is a sealant that obviously has no curing time, and the application of this product and others that work likewise is about as fast and convenient as it gets. The only drawback, if I would even call it that, is that you need to follow up and dry the vehicle once again after using it. But in comparison to manually applying and removing any other sealant, this is a far quicker option. The other benefit is that this sealant can be sprayed on and into areas of the car that are either difficult or almost impossible to reach by hand and applicator, such as inner wheel barrels, intricate grills, light mouldings, underbody components, and so on. The finish of this product really does rely on your ability to thoroughly rinse the panel immediately after you've sprayed it on. And although you may feel like you're removing it with the water, trust me, you won't. Its bond is instantaneous and really does rely on a thorough rinse to remove any excess high spots that could cause streaking. A pressure washer is a great tool to use with this sealant, but otherwise a decent rinse should work sufficiently. Its finish really is excellent, though I personally think that reload still looks a little better and perhaps lasts a touch longer as well. A great option that I use for my upgraded protection details is HighGrade 2 as a base sealant and then top with reload, which, as well as greatly boosting the finish, it also provides an amazing long-lasting durability. At about $80 for 500ml, which is diluted 1 to 3 parts water, this is the cheapest sealant here, coming in at about $20 a litre, which in my opinion makes it the best value sealant on the market today. As the name suggests, HighGrade 2 Lite is an alternative to the regular HighGrade 2, in that as well as being able to be sprayed on and washed off, this product can be also sprayed on and wiped off. I think there was a little confusion when HighGrade 2 Lite came out, as many people thought it was just a pre-mixed, ready-to-use version of HighGrade 2. But it's not. This is a ready-to-be-used sealant, unlike HighGrade 2 that needs to be diluted, but the Lite in its name refers to both its lower durability and its increased user-friendliness. The trade-off is that HighGrade 2 Lite will last up to 3 months, making it half as durable as the regular HighGrade 2. But its extreme ease of application eliminates the potential of streaking or high spots that can sometimes be an issue with HighGrade 2. One thing I've found with both versions of HighGrade 2 is that they are pretty good at accepting other sealants as top coats. So an option could be, if you're finding that HighGrade 2 isn't giving you a nice even finish, 2 coats of HighGrade 2 Lite should equate to the one of HighGrade 2. The truth is that as long as you're working in the shade and you do give HighGrade 2 a good immediate rinse off, it should finish down great. But for those times when you may be in the sunlight and hotter days, HighGrade 2 Lite is a great option when the environment and weather isn't on your side. Also, using these products on wet paint will greatly aid in the ease of their application. However, at the same time, they will lower the product's durability. At $25 a litre or $95 for 5 litres, it is give or take the same price as HighGrade 2. But its lower longevity won't provide as good value. Lastly, from CarPro is a newer product that I was patiently waiting for and finally got to try a few months ago, which is the company's Essence Plus. I've talked about CarPro's Essence in previous videos, in that it's an all-in-one polish that has a great drilling ability to extract as much gloss as possible from the paint, as well as leaving behind a class-leading sealant that looks fantastic and lasts for many months on end. The new Essence Plus is a little different in that it's non-abrasive and has been primarily developed to repair nano coatings through its cleaning and semi-permanent filling abilities. So for a coating that is, say, halfway through its life and has picked up a few scratches along the way, this sealant works so effectively in bringing that coating back to an almost new appearance. But being the person that I am, I just had to see how it works on uncoated paint. And the verdict is very positive. It's not going to replace the need for polishing or correcting the paint, but unlike most of your filling waxes and glazes that are usually gone in a matter of weeks, Essence Plus will last months or until you're ready to give the paint a polish. The other great thing is that it'll happily accept the top coat sealant better than most products out there, meaning it likes to allow other products to bond to it, creating a deeper shine and greater long-lasting protection. At $30 for 250ml, it sits at about mid-price range. But its various uses and its ability to work in harmony with other products and fill defects better than any other product I've tried makes it a fantastic sealant to have. Much like all the Poor Boys products I've tried, the company's Exp Pure sealant is another great one. From the moment you squeeze some out onto your applicator, you firstly notice its beautiful sweet smell, which for some reason is more of a rarity when it comes to sealants. Just like OptiSeal, this is a product you want to use sparingly, or you will find it a little difficult to remove. But use it light-handed and it will prove to have one of the easiest applications of any product here, with the advantage of being quite sun-friendly and a great option for hotter days. It's more of a traditional sealant with its look and feel, as well as its need to dry and haze before it's removed. But if you truly want to get the most out of both its finish and durability, it's best to allow EXP to bond for a good hour or so before removing its residue. And when used this way, you'll most certainly appreciate its fantastic slick shine and smooth gliding finish, with a longevity to compete with the top sealants on the market. And just like CarPro's Essence, EXP is a great layering product, and in accepting other sealants to effectively bond to it, allowing for more versatility and a great longer lasting protection. At $45 for a litre, or about $150 for 3.8 litres, it's one of the cheapest products here and unquestionably provides exceptional value. Next up from Zano is their Z2 Pro Show Car Polish. Although this and Poor Boys EXP are both unique in their own way, these two sealants are closely linked in so many of their characteristics and in the results they produce. Z2 is another sealant with a great sweet smell. I would place its ease of use a slight step up on EXP, even more so when working in direct sunlight, which really doesn't seem to phase this sealant, at least up to a point. And in my world of mobile detailing, that's a huge plus. Just like EXP, if you really want to get the most out of Z2, it's best to leave it on the paint for a good hour or so, and you'll benefit from both increased gloss and durability in its finish. And although both of these products are quite sun friendly, it's best to shorten the time you allow them to sit on the paint if working in direct sunlight. Another similarity to Z2 is its layering ability and its acceptance of allowing other sealants to bond alongside it. Although I wouldn't say that Z2 is a sealant to be used on all car surfaces, it can go beyond the paint and does work great on most solid, non-porous surfaces like glass and polished metals, but isn't really suitable for your more textured plastics and rubber, which again is exactly the same with EXP. Finish wise, this is one of the few times where I really can't pick a winner between them. But I can honestly say that these sealants are up there with the best in that regard. At $30 for 236 mils, this is one of the most expensive sealants here. And this price gap is perhaps the biggest difference between these two products. Onto Geon's Q2M Wet Coat. This is another of the newer spray-on and rinse-off sealants. It really does sit as a direct competitor to CarPro's Hydro 2 Light. And quite honestly, even when used on a side-by-side comparison, it is quite difficult to find many differences in both their application and finish. Though there is a couple in my opinion. On a side note, I just want to say that whoever is responsible for designing and okaying the Geon range of products should be given a big pat on the back, as I absolutely love how these products look in their transparent, simple but vibrant bottles. So one thing I noticed about Wet Coat is that it's a little more tacky in its consistency, which makes it a bit more fussy than Hydro 2 Light, in that you really need to apply to a wet surface to finish with a streak and spot-free finish. Whereas Hydro 2 Light is a little more versatile and forgiving when used on dry or wet paint in my experience. And one thing I have noticed with Hydro 2 Light is that it'll both last longer and provide better protection when sprayed on a dry surface. And unlike Wet Coat, you have the option of wiping it off with a cloth if running water is neither available or appropriate. So in many respects, Wet Coat is closer matched to the full-strength Hydro 2 in its need or preference to be applied to a wet surface, but its durability of up to 3 months puts it on par with the less durable Hydro 2 Light. Another thing to consider is price. At $20 for 500ml, it's almost twice the price of Hydro 2 and Hydro 2 Light. And although available in 4 litre quantities, it's still considerably more expensive than its competitors. Don't get me wrong, this is a great sealant in its own right. And without the existence of Hydro 2 and Hydro 2 Light, I would certainly be using it. But for the reasons I've stated, it just doesn't work in my world, as well as the CarPro offerings. Another offering from Geon is their Q2M Cure. So first up, I will say that I love this product's finish. It really does produce such a nice, silky smooth surface, as well as great amounts of gloss to the car paint. And its application is also up there with the easiest to apply, needing nothing more than the lightest of buffs to finish down flawlessly. If there is some of you out there that have tried both this and CarPro's Reload, I'd be interested to know if your thoughts are similar to mine, in that they are so very similar in just about all of their characteristics. Beginning with the way they smell, their consistency, look and finish. Even more so, Q2M Cure would be more like Reload at a 1 to 2 dilution, as this consistency is on par with the Geon's 6 to 8 week durability, as well as the effortless application that Reload provides at that dilution. I'm not saying that they are in fact the same product, just at different water dilutions, as I've never really gone as far as analysing chemical data sheets for that purpose. What I'm interested in is real-world applications and results. And if you can find a difference between these two products after adjusting Reload's dilution, you're a better person than me. One large difference, however, is price. At $45 for 400ml, it's already quite a jump in price over the Reload. But add the fact that you can dilute Reload at a 1 to 2 ratio to obtain similar results, and the price difference is quite massive. Next in line is Duragloss 111 Clear Coat Polish. This is another sealant I tried quite a few years ago, and till this day it's still up there with my favourites, alongside many of the brand's other products. it really is more of your traditional car sealant in the way that it applies and dries to a haze. And it's also another product that delivers far better results if it's allowed to bond with the paint for a longer period before buffing off its residue. The finish it produces is on par with your quality classic sealants, being very wet and slick in its appearance, as is the smooth gliding surface it leaves behind. Where it's a little more friendly than something like, say, Wolfgang's Deep Gloss is in its ability to work a little better on certain non-porous plastics and glass, as well as being a little more sun-friendly. But as I've stated in this two-part video a few times, Deep Gloss is really hard to beat amongst all the classic style sealants in the finish it produces. Though I also want to state that it's nothing like being a clear winner or leaving the competition for dead. It's just a very slight edge that it seems to have in my eyes. If I had to choose a direct competitor to 111 Clear Coat, I would place it alongside Zano's Z2. For its very similar application, characteristics and great finish. And just like the poor boy's EXP, the ease of application is really dependent on you using it sparingly. At $25 for 256 mils, it comes in at a mid to high price range. From Dodo Juice is the brand's Supernatural Acrylic Spritz. This is a product that actually quite surprised me the first time I used it, as I wasn't quite sure what to expect, as I'd only tried the company's waxes in the past, which I really liked. But it was also the first time I'd seen acrylic as an ingredient or a marketing point for a sealant. But like I've mentioned before, I'm more interested in results than labelling or chemical compositions. But I will admit to being intrigued. Anyway, I was surprised in a good way in how it produced such a great finish with very little effort at all. In fact, it was and is a real pleasure to apply. And what further impressed me was its durability. That wash after wash, it really seemed to hold up a few months down the track. It is obviously one of the newer breed of sealants, in its friendliness to be applied to really any car surface or material, as well as its water-friendly behaviour and consistency. I can't really speak of the acrylic aspect really doing anything to distinguish or separate it from a workability or finish standpoint. But like I said, I'm more interested in real-world results, and it's a real winner in that area. In my eyes, I still get a touch more gloss and longevity at a reload, but Supernatural is a little speedier to apply, and only so very slightly less in those areas. At $33 for this 250ml bottle, it is however one of the costlier products here, coming in at almost twice the price of Reload, but on par with Geon's Cure, which Supernatural provides far longer durability for the same price point. Last but not least is Conquest's Car Care's Nova Jet. Much like Supernatural, I would place this as another, even more so, unique sealant, as it's hard to find a direct product to compare it with. Nova Jet is designed to work both as a standalone sealant and a top layer over coatings or sealants. I think this was one of the first of the brand's products I tried, which then led to me trying quite a few of their other offerings, and what can I say other than I'm really loving their range. More so than any other sealant here, this feels like quite a serious product, in that it seems to apply a little thicker than your average spray-on sealant, but buffs off much the same as something like Reload. What greatly impressed me with Nova Jet was the amazing tight surface it produces over the paint, in that its water-repelling ability is the most hydrophobic surface that I've ever seen any product create. Another thing I love about it is the 2 months plus durability that's on the bottle's label, which is such an underrated figure, but really refreshing to see this and then experience closer to 6 months plus longevity. The truth is that just about any sealant out there will last a lot less if applied as a top coat over another sealant or coating. But these figures aren't the ones you're typically given. As far as finish goes, NovaJet is really up there with the best, as well as in the great protection it provides. I first tried this sealant as many of the local detailers were just raving about it, and saying that they found their new go-to sealant. So I just had to give it a go, and the more I use it, the more I'm understanding why it's such an overall winner in its finish, protection, and durability. It does sit at a mid to higher price point than most, but like I said, sometimes higher prices can be justified if the product truly delivers, and this is a great example of that. I really hope you enjoyed and found this two-part video useful. Please like, comment, and subscribe to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.